So why don't we do like a spring market kind of thing? It is spring. It's
Is it?
raining.
Is it?
It's been a heck of a spring. Camping season officially started for us.
Has it?
We got rained on and a lot.
Wait a minute. Did you have to bring winter jackets?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was wearing a North Face jacket camping the whole time.
So you had no fire?
We did one day and then the next day it was too windy. So it was cold and windy the next day. Yep. Wish us luck.
Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm Lana.
And I'm Mark.
And we're here just to talk about real estate, small business, and just life.
Turns out most people who watch or listen haven't yet subscribed. If you could take a minute to do that, wherever you get your podcasts, we'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the show.
Let's go.
So that's our spring market so far at home. I had an I think it's interesting. Usually I can't book out home inspections more than a week because when you folks write a contract, what do you typically put in there for like
a week?
A week, right?
7 days.
So that's kind of my cap because when people call and I'm like, well, I'm 10 days out and they look at their offer, they're like, I can't do that. And there's nothing I can do, right? So we just move on. Right now I'm booked 2 weeks out, which is bizarre. Like I can't do that, but I'm doing it. So where are people getting this flexibility all of a sudden? Is it just, and the call volume's way up. So like obviously people are out buying houses right now. Are you, I guess my question is like, are you guys doing it different? How is it possible that I have 2 weeks worth of work on my schedule when normally I can't do that?
You know, that's interesting because I actually got a little nervous about putting offers in like at the end of the week and they get an offer accepted and then you guys aren't booking anything on the weekends. There's a couple of home inspectors that do it on the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's a wash. It's almost like you have to do a week and a half in order to get an inspection now.
I feel like 10 days is...
Yeah, but you can't win an offer like 10 days out.
I hear
You're
you.
going to be off the market 10 days.
But I'm telling you, people are doing it too.
Well, you have to.
Some people are doing it.
You have to.
The proof is in the pudding. But I can't seem to book beyond that. I've had to turn away a bunch of potentials because they're like...
I think people should not worry about it because if they get their offer accepted and it only says 7 days, you can work out a negotiation of an extension for that.
That's what a lot of these folks do. I should have said that. Yes. So they'll come in. A lot of people book without asking their agent if the timing works. So they book 10 days out. And some of those end up canceling immediately when the agent gets the confirmation and they're like, no. Like, did you read your contract? I don't know how you guys actually say it to your clients. You probably don't say it like that. You're probably nicer about it. But like they come back and they're like, that's too far out. We can't do it.
Yeah.
But a surprising number of them do come back and get extensions to cover the extra time. And that's always been a thing too. I guess what's different that I'm seeing is they're actually getting those extensions. So maybe you negotiate the offer the same way and then you end up with the extension because I can't be the only one that's booked out, right?
No, it's very hard to get a home inspector now, and any inspections, even you know, I mean, I'm working on commercial as well, and that's just a nightmare in itself. But it really comes down to, Mark, and I know you've been a real estate agent and you probably don't remember all of this, but you know, it's all about your team and it's all about making your case for your client solid.
Sure.
So you got your lender who's on board. You have your pre-approval letter that supports, and it's a strong buyer. You got a large deposit. You have minimal amount of contingencies. So you're actually putting as much confidence so that the seller will get it. So even if we have to do an extension of a day or two, we're only looking like a day or two. But I mean, I had a buyer that has worked with you before, and they reached out to me this week, and they're like, "Mark's not available." I'm like, "Shut down! Like we're shut down. Mark's not available."
Just don't buy the house then. I mean, obviously,
house is not worth it. No. But just like my business, it must be in your business. You're going to see the ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
So right now you're like loaded but then there's going to be a soft,
Yep.
pull back, and then it's going to be. So I think to answer your question is, are we doing something different? No, I think what we're doing is just, um, work a lot more brainstorming and a lot more talking about the dates as like, we're going to button this up as soon as we can. But we're also doing a lot more work during that due diligence period.
Okay.
So if you're not available or an inspection's not available, we're going call, open permits, we're checking things out. So where before we're like, get an inspection and we're done because we could get into you guys real quick.
Yeah.
And now we're signing PNS and we might have forgotten something. So we have a little bit more time to do a little bit more research.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a little out there, but do you think that what I'm seeing is a result of realtors working more collaboratively than they used to?
Wish they did.
Okay. So that's not really a.
Education is a big factor, and there's a lot of people that need to learn what brainstorm or negotiation is all about, right?
Okay.
And I'm not downplaying my industry. I just think agents, as well as, because we always tell our clients this, you got to take a breath.
Mm.
I had a deal fall through this week and literally just says, nope, didn't like the house or didn't like the home inspection, milked it out for a couple of days, don't like it, and we're done. And I went back to the agent. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Talk to us.
Yeah.
What can we do? I also had one, I think, yes, you did it.
I was the inspector.
Uh-huh. And I talked to the agent and I said, wait a minute. We just need 2 days to get a contractor in there. Apparently you were able to poke your finger through the siding.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
So we actually met the seller with the contractor.
And showed them.
We didn't really have to show it. It was pretty obvious. There was a hole there now.
Oh, yeah, my finger did go
Well,
through once.
the contractor was.
Yeah.
But we were trying not to say, this house is not, we were saying, we want this house.
Yeah.
But how do we fix this? But with the seller there and the buyer there, they got to hear the contractor. So it wasn't coming from Lana, who was protecting. We got the transaction put together.
Nice.
Now, in a really good fashion, where it wasn't like the buyer said, I got it from the seller. It wasn't like that. It was like the seller's like, fair to say it's going to come up again. Fair to say this is a good thing. I was there with the contractor. I got to ask my questions. So it was really.
It's not going away. Like
Right.
the problem's not going away. I'm assuming they didn't know about it.
And they didn't.
That's the thing.
So-
Most people don't know
Right,
about
they
these
don't
things.
know. And even
And
though
then
it was a
somebody
big
tells
ticket.
them, and they're like, "Who's this guy?"
Right.
Right?
But the agent did say this to me, and she's the listing agent, and said, Lana, agents don't do what you do.
in what sense?
And I didn't say we're out of the contract because my client says, well, if this isn't going to happen, then I'm out. And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I said, let's just get a couple of days. Let's see if we can get somebody in there. So even though it stretched out, and yes, we had to bump out the closing 1 week because of the delays, right?
I mean, if you
I
got to
had
go
a
find a new house,
Right.
you're
And
going
I
to
had
bump
a
it out
seller
further than
that wanted
that.
to sell and a buyer that wanted this house. So why can't we figure out how to do it?
Yeah, make it
But she
work.
brought that up to me and said, so I find still that some are quickly to say, oh, my client didn't like it. Instead of saying to the client, hey, let's just try and see what if the seller would be willing to negotiate. This is the time to brainstorm.
Yeah.
Because I know we went through a period of time that there was no time for that.
Yes.
And everybody forgot how to do that.
Right.
So now we're back doing that. And that's the skill. When I go back to education,
Yes.
that's the skill. And all it means, and you know this happens. Everybody sleeps on it. The next day is a whole different day.
Totally.
So if we just bring it down and we just ask the simple questions, do you like the house? Yes. Okay, let's go see what we can do. If the seller said, no, I'm not waiting for you, okay, well, then there's another thing to talk about. But if everybody's on the same page of like, okay, I don't want to go back on the market, I've got my place to go. We're not trying to, quote, steal, get a deal, make it a bad thing for anyone, right?
Doesn't sound like it. What you're describing is an effort to to fix everything that needs to be fixed for everybody to move forward.
Right.
Like, that's just
And we're not making a brand new home. We're
No.
just fixing.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way. I mean,
Right.
like, there's a problem with the deal,
Mm-hmm.
and you could either walk away because that's quick and easy, but then you gotta go find them another house anyway, and that one's gonna have problems,
Mhm.
or you could try to solve the problem right in front of you.
Right.
And you're right. I think that's if you were an agent who started during COVID and then went through this period where there were no inspections and you never picked up those skills,
Skills.
like you said, of like, well, what do I do with inspection
Mhm.
related issues? Do I just, walk away from every deal? Well, no, they're going to learn real quick. Like they
Mhm.
all have problems. So
And
it's
the hard piece too is I have to say it is hard, it's challenging because there's not just an object,
right.
it's emotions.
That one was particularly challenging, I think.
Mhm.
I think the fact that you could work through that because you're not talking about it like replacing a heating system or something that somebody can just throw a number at
Right.
and say, well, it's a oil boiler. It's
Right.
probably going to be around this much money and they're probably going to get pretty close.
Mhm.
You're talking about invasive work that is hidden behind a wall. You
And
don't know what's there.
He's unknown.
Yeah. That's
There's a risk
that's
for
impressive.
both.
You get credit for that. I think you get credit for that. Um because I think a lot of people would just find that too challenging. But the reality is someone's going to deal with it and then that house is going to go to somebody and they like the house.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
why not fix the house and make it work?
And, to the point where are we going to continue just to show property? We're not there just to show property.
Right.
We're there to put the deal together. And if there is a way to do it, we need to brainstorm more. And I hear too often agents just upset, like it's not coming together, it's not coming together. But if you just take a breath and you just say, all right, well, let's try to work it out. I mean, I'm sure there are many agents that are doing this. I'm sure. But I find that the ones that are actually closing transactions and helping the clients get to the table are the ones that are I mean, you can't come up with every scenario.
No.
You can't be like, "Oh, this worked on this one, we can do this." You almost have to step back and brainstorm with everybody. So I get the agent in, I get the seller in, and the buyer, and we all like, and if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work.
Right.
But I think if you get everybody involved, so that's what I think is happening more so. After that, it's the same thing, right? Purchase and sale. The
Yeah.
same thing is
All the
going to the
standard stuff.
table. But I think it's
Getting the
very
money together.
crucial. Very crucial. So let me ask you something.
Mm.
It seems though you brought up the thing about having 2 weeks and you're booked and now it's getting busy. And I find there's a lack of home inspectors. And what do you do with your overflow? I mean, you're just telling people,
Man, it's tough. In most cases, I'm just telling people I can't do it
Mhm.
because referring another inspector that I haven't seen work, like when I was in the field more, like when I was doing your job, I
Mhm.
could see how they were.
Mhm.
I knew what other inspectors were doing. Now it's challenging for me because I haven't seen anybody actually do their job in a long time. And it's like, well, I don't know. Some of those guys have dropped off. I don't know as many people as I used to. We don't really commingle.
You don't have like an
We
organization.
do, but it's out in Boston
Oh.
or online. There's a couple,
Mm.
but when I go to the meetings that are most local, it's mostly Boston, South Shore, North Shore
Mm.
inspectors,
Mm.
Metro West, and then I'm oftentimes like one of the furthest guys west um, that show up. So yeah, we don't really, and even then, it's sometimes hard to get a feel for how do they actually perform on site. Like
Yeah.
it's tough to make that referral, I guess. I used to do more of it. I'm doing less of it now, and part of it's just not. It's almost like you guys. You would give like 3 inspectors. I don't really have 3 to give.
It's hard to find it.
Now I'm looking at like, what am I just going to give everybody this direct referral to 1 or 2 people?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not in a great position there.
Mm.
I should be sharing more, um, but I don't currently have a good mechanism for doing that.
Interesting. So I find the market right now is very busy, but I think it's busy by solving problems
Neat.
that people are not taking the time to solve. So it's extra work.
Yeah.
And I hear that from people saying, all I'm doing is like attorneys, even
Really?
attorneys. I don't know. I'm just a problem solver. But I think that's our whole industry. We are
Pretty much.
problem solvers.
Yeah.
You know,
How many deals don't have problems?
right. And not necessarily call them problems in a bad way. It's like, oh, something came up, or oh, see, this came up, or we never even thought of that piece, or this all of a sudden the title work came up.
Sure.
But I think that is what's happening, where we came from something sign, close, 103 transactions. And now we're like, just to get through a transaction,
Yeah.
it's amazing amount of communication, like emails and text, and still no one picks up the phone. But I tell you, if you pick up the phone,
Yeah. It's amazing.
because you can hear the tone,
Yeah.
you can talk together. I've calmed a lot of agents down by saying, oh, no, we're going to work together on this. Really? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't get that if you get an email and a text. You're not hearing that like, oh, they want to work. Oh, I thought you would come in at me.
Yeah, the tone is so hard. Even if
Right?
you know a person,
Yes.
it's still hard unless you use enough emojis.
Emojis.
Right?
And then you're like, yay. Okay, well, I can only give so much cheerleading all day long, right? Just pick up the phone and call me. I'm like, yes.
Cool.
So this was great. I'm so glad you all paid attention and listened to our update on the market. But I'm Lana, and this is Mark. And we hope that you subscribe and check in with us. Give us your feedback on these podcasts. Even if you have a topic that you think is important for us to like delve into, we'd love to share our insight with you. But we also love that you give us comments. So comment, subscribe, and you can find me, Lana Kopsala, at Coldwell Banker Realty in Leominster. And you'll see on the screen all my other contacts. And Mark.
Yep. Just Google Mark at Wachusett Home Inspection. Instagram is probably the best place to find me and reach out to me. We're always looking for guests too. So if you want to be on, just let us know.
Sounds good. Thank you.